Hello students, I am Rakesh Chauhan working as PGT Physics in Suraj School Bawal. I welcome you all in the e-learning classes of physics. Today our topic for discussion is equations of uniformly accelerated motion. This is very important topic of chapter 3, that is motion in a straight line. So in our last video also we have derived these equations but using graphical approach. Here we are going to derive these equations with the help of integration and differentiation, which is known as the calculus method. So let us start with the derivation of very first equation of uniformly accelerated motion, that is v is equal to u plus at. So this is the first equation of motion, or in fact uniformly accelerated motion, v is equals to u plus at. So we have derived this equation with the help of velocity time graph in our last video, but here in this video we are going to derive the same equation with the help of integration and differentiation. So as you all know, we know that instantaneous acceleration can be written as rate of change of velocity. This formula we have written or derived in the very first lecture of this chapter, in which we have studied about instantaneous and average acceleration and velocity. So acceleration can be written as the rate of change of velocity. Now from here I can write down dv is equals to a into dt. Now we have to find the value of final velocity, that is v. So what should be done? We should integrate this equation to have the value of v. So integrating both sides, and since in both the sides the variable is different, here the variable is v and here the variable is time, so the limits will be different in both the sides. So here we will integrate dv from the limit u to v. What are limits? From where to where the value of v is going to be changed. So we have assumed that the initial velocity of the object was u and the final velocity after t time is v. So these are the limits of velocity from u to v. This is known as lower limit, this is known as upper limit. Okay, this is equals to integration a into dt, where t is the variable and the limit of t is from 0 to small t. We have assumed that at t is equal to 0 seconds the initial velocity of the object was u, and at t seconds later the speed becomes v. So this is how these limits are written in the integration. Now we are going to integrate these two equations, or this equation. So integration of dv, you must always remember that integration of dx, dl, dt, dv is always whatever it has been written. That is, if it is dv then the integration will be v, if it is dx the integration will be x, if it is dl the integration will be l. So integration of dv is v, and we will write the lower limit here and upper limit here. This is equals to a will be constant because these equations are uniformly accelerated, for uniformly accelerated motion. So means acceleration is constant, a is constant. So if a is constant, velocity is going to be increased with a constant rate, we can say. So a is constant, so I can take a out of this integration, so it will be a dt from 0 to t. Now we will put upper limit and lower limit in this term. So while we place v in place of, while we place upper limit in place of this, so v will be replaced by v, means it will remain as it is, minus we put lower limit in place of v, so it will become minus u. So this is how the limits are put in a integration. Is equals to a, and the integration of dt will be t, and the limits will be from 0 to t. This is upper limit, this is lower limit. So this is v minus u is equals to a, and we will put t in place of t, so it will remain as it is, and we will put lower limit in this, so it will become 0. So now we can write down this v minus u is equals to at, or v is equals to u plus at, and this is what we want to derive. This is first equation of uniformly accelerated motion. So this is how we can derive the equations using differentiation and integration. Here the acceleration is differentiation of velocity, and using integration we have derived this expression. So since we are using integration and differentiation to obtain these equations, therefore this method is known as calculus method. So next we are going to derive the second equation of motion. So next we are going to derive the second equation of motion, that is s is equals to ut plus half at square, with the help of integration and differentiation. So here we will use the concept of velocity. So you all know that instantaneous velocity can be defined as the rate of change of position or displacement. So here we have denoted displacement by s. Normally we denote displacement by x, but here in these equations the displacement is being denoted by s. Therefore we can write down instantaneous velocity v is equals to rate of change of displacement, that is ds upon dt. Here I can write down ds as v into dt, and now if I put the value of v here from equation first, that is v is equals to u plus at, so it will become ds is equals to u plus at into dt. Now integrating both sides we can have the value of displacement. So integrating both sides, the integration of ds will be integration ds, and since the variable is s, so we will put the limit of s. So suppose the particle is starting from s is equal to 0, and after t seconds it reaches to displacement s. So these will be the limit: lower limit 0, upper limit s, is equals to u plus at into dt integration, and here the variable is time, therefore we will put the lower limit t is equals to 0, at which displacement is 0 we have assumed, and after t second the particle displaces by capital S. So these are the limit, or this is how we will put the limit here. Integration of ds will be of course s, and we will put the value of lower limit, which is 0, and upper limit, which is s, is equals to, we will integrate these two terms by separating it. So it can be written as integration u into dt, and limit is 0 to t, plus at dt, integration at dt, and we can take this a out of this integration because a is constant here, and the limit will be from 0 to t. So we can write down this as t dt. Now we can also take this u out of this integration because this is also constant. So this will be u, and integration of dt will be t, and we will put the limit of t from 0 to t, plus a, and integration of t dt. Using this formula we have written the formula of integration and differentiation in our last video. So integration of x raised to the power n dx is equals to x n plus 1 divided by n plus 1, means power is increased by 1 and total power to be divided to this term. So t dt integration will be t square by 2 and the limit will be from 0 to t. Now u, and we will put upper limit, that is t, minus lower limit, that is 0, and this is a by 2, and we will put the limit t, upper limit t and lower limit as 0. So this can be written as the, or after putting the limits. Now if I can write this equation, or if I put the limit here also, it will become s minus 0. So this is s, so s becomes u into t plus half a into t square. So this is how we can derive second equation of motion using integration and differentiation. So now we are going to derive the third equation of motion, that is v square minus u square is equal to 2as. So this is the proof. We can say, we know that instantaneous acceleration of the particle can be written as a is equal to rate of change of velocity. Now see here that in this equation there are velocities and acceleration and displacement. There is no role of time here, or we can say this term is independent, or this equation is independent of the time. So what we should do, we will replace this t in terms of v, a or s, or we can say we have to displace this t anyhow. So we can displace this t from here by simply multiplying and divide this equation as dv upon ds, ds upon dt. So if I multiply and divide these two terms, ds to the numerator and ds to the denominator, then there is no change going to take place. But here we can say that this ds upon dt will become rate of change of displacement, means velocity. So this is velocity and dv upon ds. So this is how we can displace this dt as, or we can insert here the ds. Okay, now a is velocity and rate of change of this velocity with respect to displacement, and from here I can write down v dv is equals to a into ds. And now we want to derive the relationship between v, u and a s, therefore we should integrate these equations both sides. So integrating both sides, what we can have, integration v dv is equals to integration a into ds. Here the variable is v, here the variable is s. So we will put the limits here of v as well as here of s. So here the limit will be from u to v, and here the limit will be from s is equal to 0 to capital S. Now the integration of v dv, as the integration of t dt was t square by 2, same here the integration will be v square by 2, and the limits will be from u to v, and a is constants. So a and integration ds we can write down as s, and the limit will be from 0 to s, and this can be written as, while we put the upper limit here, it will become v square minus lower limit, it will become e minus u square divided by 2, and is equals to a, and if I put the value of upper limit, that is s, minus lower limit, that is 0. So this equation becomes v square minus u square is equals to 2as, and this is the equation which we want to derive. So this is how these equations can be derived with the help of calculus or with the help of integration and differentiation. So the derivation is very important so far as exam is concerned, and also the numericals of variety of numericals, I can say, are being asked on these equations of motions. So we will practice the numericals also in some other video, but here we are focused on deriving the equations of motion. There is a special case also in some books. It is written as equation 4, but it is not equation 4. Actually it is the special case of second equation. So now we are going to derive the special case of second equation. So now we are going to derive the special case of second equation of motion, which is as nth is equals to u plus a by 2 to n minus 1. So the first question comes in our mind is how this equation is different from the second equation of motion, which is s is equals to ut plus half at square. Since this equation also represents the displacement, this equation is also representing the displacement. So what is the difference between these two displacement? So the simple and clear answer is this distance is the distance covered by the object in 1 second. But which 1 second? Nth 1 second. Here this is the distance or displacement covered by the object in t seconds. So that is the main difference between these two equations. This equation represents the distance covered by the object after t second. This is the distance covered by the object during nth second of its journey. So that is how these two distances or these two formulas are different from each other. Now let us try to derive this equation with the help of second equation. So we want to prove this formula, and to prove this formula, if I consider that this is the distance covered by the object which is moving with initial velocity u and acceleration a in n second. So I can represent this distance as Sn. Suppose this is the distance traveled by the object in n second, okay, which can be easily found out using second equation of motion by simply putting the value of t as equals to n. Now if I ask you that how much distance will be covered by the object in n minus 1 second, so you will say, suppose this is the distance which is represented by as n minus 1 covered by that object in n minus 1 second. Okay, now this remaining distance is as nth, means the distance covered by that object in nth second of its journey. So this is how we can calculate the value of s nth. So from here I can write down s nth is equals to Sn minus Sn minus 1, and this is suppose equation first. So I hope this concept you might have clear that how we can calculate the distance covered in nth second. So we can calculate the distance covered in nth second equals to the distance covered in n second minus the distance covered in n minus 1 second. Okay, so now using second equation of motion, what is second equation of motion? S is equals to ut plus half at square. So if I put t is equals to n here in equation second, so what I can write down here, Sn is equals to un plus half a n square. This is suppose equation third. And similarly, if t is equals to n minus 1 seconds, this is n second, this is t n minus 1 second. So this will become s n minus 1 is equals to u n minus 1 plus half a n minus 1 whole square, and this is suppose equation 4. Okay, now if I put the value of Sn and Sn minus 1 into equation first, so I can have from equation first Snth is equals to Sn, that is un plus half an square minus un minus 1 plus a by 2 n minus 1 whole square. Now this is un plus half an square minus, if I multiply this un minus u plus a by 2, and this becomes n square minus 2n plus 1. And if I simplify this equation, so you can see here un is positive, this un is negative, so it will cancel out this. This is half an square which is positive, this is half 1 by 2 an square which is negative because this sign is negative. So these terms will be cancelled out, and we can write down that Snth is equals to this minus and minus will become plus, so it will be u, and this minus will be multiplying here, so it will become minus a by 2, and since we have cancel out this term an square by 2 with this term, so it will be only minus 2n plus 1 here, so minus 2n plus 1 here, remaining term. Okay, now I can write down it u minus and minus will become plus, so it will be, and 2 will be cancelled out by these two, so it will be an minus a by 2, and if I take a by 2 common from here, so it will become, this is a by 2 means minus 1, here it is not a by 2, so I can multiply it by 2 and divide by 2, so it will be 2n minus 1. So this is how we can derive the special case of second equation. So if I ask you that how much distance will be covered by the object during nth second of its journey, so you will use this formula. But if I ask you that how much distance will be covered by the object in n second, so you will use second equation of motion. So this is the difference between Snth and second equation of motion. So this is all for this lecture. I hope this lecture will be very helpful for you in understanding and deriving the equations of uniformly accelerated motion.